Hey everybody, it's Mr. Francis, and this is my review for Chapter 13, which focuses on gases. As you can see, I'm doing a little different this time. Instead of going through the notes and the lecture slides that I had for the previous chapter, I'm just going to talk to you like this. Um, Things I want you to focus on in Chapter 13 with the gases. The first part is the gas laws, and these are the mathematical calculations for the variables that we use to measure gases: pressure, volume, temperature, and moles of gas. The first part of the chapter does go into pressure, talks about the measurement of pressure, the units that you will see. There is a table that relates the different units. All of them relate to the unit atmosphere. So look for those relationships. When we're dealing with the other variables, the other thing I want to tell you about, anytime you see a gas law with temperature, you're going to convert that to Kelvin. So you'll Celsius temperature, you'll add 273. The gas laws themselves, what you want to pay attention to is what variables are being used to make the measurements and the calculations. Boyle's law is the relationship between pressure and volume. Charles's law is the relationship between volume and temperature. And again, with those two, look for the mathematical equation, because what they end up being is you're just plugging in the numbers, because you're going to be given your initial conditions. You're going to be given one of the final conditions. Just plug that in. Avogadro's law is the relationship between moles and volume, and we you'll introduce to what they call the molar volume, which is, at what volume does 1 mole of any gas occupy? And we've touched on that briefly earlier. The ideal gas law is the one relationship that relates all 4 variables: pressure, volume, moles of gas, and temperature. It's also the one gas law where you only have one set of conditions. The relationship is PV equals nRT. They do tell you what the value of that R is. It's called the gas constant. But again, the rest of it is just plugging in the values and doing the calculations. The second part of Chapter 13 focuses on the behavior of a substance when it's in the gaseous state. We look at something called the kinetic theory of an ideal gas. So as you look at each of those, the postulates, the parts of that theory, it's going to tell you, hey, we've got this substance in the gaseous state. This is how it's behaving. This is going to how it sees. Focus on some of the properties and the terminology that they focus on with the substance in the gaseous state, and go from there. The lab this week is Boyle's law. So you'll actually do kind of a virtual hands-on relationship. Again, you're going to be putting together a graph, so you'll use an Excel program to create the graph, the relationship between pressure and volume, and then upload that to the lab assignment as it is. The last thing I want to talk about real quickly in this video, we have 2 weeks. 2 weeks and then finals. Okay, so everything is wrapping up very quickly. Keep mindful of your calendar, the dates, and everything that we're doing with that. Keep up the good work. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.